Hey guys, you're watching Boogie Plays Games, or sometimes Boogie Plays Games. Mostly I've been opening Pokemon cards lately, but I've decided to take a quick little break because I want to get something off my chest. I've been kind of silent about this past couple days, but I don't want to be silent anymore because I've got more and more people asking me about it. But right now, as you guys know, I'm a huge Magic the Gathering player. I've been part of that community, I guess, since the game came out in 94. I guess it came out in late 93, and I've been playing since 94. And I feel very close to that community. And I watch a lot of Magic the Gathering YouTubers. A lot of my personal consumption of YouTube surrounds people opening those cards, playing that game, talking about that game. Wedge from the Mana Source in Tolarian Community College, MTG Headquarters, Desolator Magic, or is it Desolate Magic? I can't remember. So many other channels. I love Magic the Gathering content. And right now in that community is something not very similar to Gamergate, but kind of similar. I'm sorry for game dropping there, but it is a similar experience. And I want to explain to you what's happening, and then I want to offer my opinion on what's happening. But in the last year or so, last couple years, we've seen the company that makes Magic the Gathering, which is Wizards of the Coast, move in a much more diverse direction. They want to have their product appeal to a wide variety of people, and they're keeping diversity in mind in every stage of their development. And they're not doing it in a way that I consider bad. I think maybe some of the ways that it has been handled in the gaming community is not the right way to handle it. I think the way Wizards of the Coast has handled it is very correct. I think that they have tried to be all-inclusive, including keeping their target audience of straight white men, which has been their audience, the bulk of their audience for a very long time, happy. But they've also wanted to be inclusive to people of color, to people with different genders, and I'll be entirely honest with you, the reason that's okay to me is because that's how the Magic the Gathering community has always been. When I played back in St. Paul, Virginia in 1994, me and my girlfriend at the time, who was African-American, we played together with her gay friend, Michael. We played all the time, and nobody cared. It was all about the game. And no matter how weird and nerdy I was, it was all about playing that game. That game brought us together. That's what has made me love Magic the Gathering. It didn't matter what color you were. It didn't matter how fat you were. It didn't matter how different you were. And in my case, it didn't matter that you were a bit of an edgelord, because when I was in my 20s, I was an edgelord. I loved comedians like Sam Kinison, Dennis Leary. I had the asshole song memorized. And that's what I brought to my Friday Night Magic, even though there wasn't Friday Night Magic then. When we played Magic, that's the sense of humor I brought with me. And people accepted and understood that. And so I think it's important that when Magic starts moving in a diverse direction, that they also keep in mind that there's nothing wrong with straight white men. In the gaming industry right now, what white men want is wrong. It's not. It's never going to be wrong because we are also a demographic. I think that's possible. I also think it's important to design a game for all demographics. And that's what Wizards of the Coast does. And I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful. You may disagree, and if so, you don't even need to listen to the rest of this video. But I think it's wonderful. So, very, very recently, there has been a very outspoken YouTuber who is a self-proclaimed edgelord, a self-proclaimed shitlord. And his name is Jeremy from MTG Headquarters. And if that sounds familiar with you, he has sponsored a large number of unboxings for me here on the channel, making it possible for me to purchase an entire case and unbox that for you by paying for a good portion of that case for a shout out in those videos. Now, does that make me biased? I mean, it's up to you. I do not feel that makes me biased at all. And as you know, I have the exact same opinion about all of this other stuff in the past. The opinion is going to be applied here, so I don't think it factors into it, but you need to know that, okay? However, I think that the Magic community has room for edgelords. I think the Magic community has room for shitlords. Now, I don't agree with a quarter of the things that Jeremy has had to say when he's edgelording. I really don't. And a lot of the times these days, I've gotten so old and just gotten so crotchety that I don't even really find that kind of edgelording funny when it's supposed to be funny. I don't find it appealing. I don't find it appealing to say anymore. I don't find it interesting to hear. And I vastly disagree with a lot of what is to be said. And I'm just going to go right here. Jeremy, if you're watching this video, I hate it when you do that stuff, man. It really, really bums me out. It's so bad that there have been periods of time where I've thought, can I afford to keep letting him sponsor my videos? Now, I'm going to say right here, right now, the next time you want to sponsor an unboxing, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And if anybody doesn't like it, if they're going to turn off the video because they hear your name, that's up to them, man. It's not up to us. So what has happened to Jeremy in the last few days is he was given a preview card. And this is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to show you a preview card. Whenever they release a new set for Magic the Gathering, they slowly spoil the sets, and they hand it out to different people, different YouTubers, different magazines, different players to reveal this stuff. And very recently, MTG headquarters got to preview 2 cards. And the Magic community decided they did not like that. They did not like this shitlord, edgelord, edgy guy having anything to do with the company in a professional manner. And here's the thing. Wizards of the Coast gets to pick and choose who they want to work with. They can choose to work with me. I hope that you do. I would love to be sponsored by what you guys do over there. I have played your game religiously. I've turned thousands and thousands of people onto your game. Feel free to work with me. But they can also choose not to. Based on this singular video, this may make them want to pull away from me entirely. And if that's what happens, that's what happens. And that's okay. That's their prerogative. And they have every choice to pull away from Jeremy because of the things he said and done, or because the Magic community has spoken out against him. I think they went a little too far in this instance, because rather than just pull away in a silent way, they kind of said something publicly, and that was a pretty big PR mistake, because the same way that happened in the Gamergate, and this is why I'm making the analogy, when it happened during Gamergate, you saw a polarization of the community. You ended up having that small group of edgelords and shitlords and people who, by the way, do have what they at least consider to be very legitimate politics sometimes. I may not agree with this politics, but to them, their politics is just as important as my politics are to me. They are still human beings. They still have the right to believe whatever racist, bigoted, whatever, that's fine. I believe that the thought that maybe the exaggeration of the truth is something that's bad for everybody involved. I still maintain that idea. That's still an idea that I agree. And for the record, I do still believe that we should be reporting games to you in a very, very open manner with, I think, integrity in this industry is absolutely important. But I'm getting off track. That polarization has led to the Magic community dividing itself. And that all really came down from one public statement from somebody from Wizards of the Coast. And that really, really sucks. Now, the real polarization does come from Jeremy. The real polarization does come from his politics, and that's really the start of it. I'm not going to lie. I believe that this statement from Wizards of the Coast did make things a little worse. I think it was unnecessary, and I really don't think it should have happened. So what I've seen today in the past few days on Twitter is the beginning of the Magic the Gathering version of Gamergate. Hashtag MagicGate, hashtag whatever. I don't want it to be a hashtag. Please don't make it a hashtag. But I have seen that very beginning. People who value diversity and people who value all-inclusiveness choosing not to include those people. I don't know. That's a complicated issue. That is a difficult issue. And in these types of difficult times where I'm forced to look at somebody else's politics and I'm forced to disagree with them, as Jeremy has made me do, I am at a point where I have to make a decision. Will I discard this person? And I'm always reminded of this time by a quote from Thomas Jefferson. I wish I had readied the image macro, but Thomas Jefferson once said that I have never considered a difference of politics or religion to be a reason to pull away from a friend. And I think that's true in business, and I don't think that me and Jeremy have ever really been friends, but I think we have done business together, and I do not see that as a reason to pull away. Jeremy is an edgelord, and edgelords play Magic. Jeremy is a centipede, a Donald Trump supporter, and Donald Trump supporters play Magic. I don't know that they need to be discarded from the community. I understand that they need to behave. I understand that they need to be kind. I understand that they need to be inclusive. I understand that they need to treat people kindly. I understand that. True is the same. It's true for those of us who also value courtesy. So that's why I spoke up a little bit yesterday on Twitter to defend Jeremy. I'm not defending his actions. I'm certainly not defending his politics. I'm defending the person. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If anybody else in the community decides to do that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I see a lot of people rallying around him because they value his politics. That's worth something. I think it's a lot more because I think what I'm doing is a little more valuable, and I think it's a lot more valuable if we value him as a person. I think it's easier to lead by example than just scream at Jeremy what he's doing wrong. Let us be inclusive. Let us be kind. We are the ones that value it to begin with. I don't know. I just don't want to see this shit happening to my favorite game. After having it watch it happen to my gaming community to begin with, I really do not want to see it happening here. Magic has always been a safe place for me. Even though I'm white and even though I'm Mel. I really don't want that to change. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much. I'll speak with you again soon. I'll have some Magic unboxings pretty soon. Kaladesh is coming out. Wizards, feel free to call me.